Is it on?
Yeah, go.
Hello and welcome to Cooking by Fassnidge, the Christmas edition, part 1, because we didn't do one last year. And my sidekick tonight is Mr. James White. I wouldn't say co-host, I'd say more sidekick. He's in, we're just testing the water.
You're Batman, I'm Robin.
No, I'm just Batman. You know the movie where you're Batman and you had no Robin? That's me, yeah, because Robin died. Right, here we go.
Let's go.
So welcome, been a huge year. We're nearly at the end. What else can go wrong? Actually, don't talk about that. So tonight we're going to cook some Christmas favourites from the Common Sense Cook. Beautiful book. You can still get in there. Dimox in George Street have got 200 signed copies I signed today, so get in there.
By Fassnidge has them as well, signed copies.
By Fassnidge at Banksia has them, and By Fassnidge Instagram, you can order them. If you want to order them from overseas, we can send them to you, because they're not available overseas yet. Right, tonight we're working in conjunction with Wusthof, the best knife brand in Australia. Would you say that?
Certainly.
Well, you have to.
Certainly.
Right, so we got beautiful Wusthof, beautiful steel. Also, we are doing, because obviously we're known for our pork, we're doing pork tonight. So we're going to do a glazed ham, we're going to do a porchetta, we're going to do a melon fennel salad, and we're going to do the perfect roast potatoes. And we're using Australian pork because you shouldn't be using anything else except Australian pork, right? Isn't that right,
So
buddy?
make sure you look for the green and gold kangaroo. That's the most important thing. Or black and white one if it's a black and white label, but it has to have the kangaroo.
What are you talking about?
That's how you know it's
We
Australian
talked about
pork.
this before.
A black and white kangaroo. It's a Dalmatian. It's
Or a
very
green,
hot.
green and gold
Thanks for
one.
that, Whitey. Great, yeah.
Let's go.
So, obviously, Australian pork. Big shout out to Mitch, Esther, and Kylie. How is it all going? Right, so any questions, just hit us up. And Jane, the Common Sense wife there, will hit us up with the, what was your tag? Annoying little. Right, so hit us up with any questions.
Have I got a tag?
Yeah.
What is it? The Common Sense what? Wife?
Yeah.
Common Sense white.
It was in the meeting we had about 10 minutes ago. Right, so we're going to start with a porchetta. So if you're cooking along, what you want to do is get a pot on nice and hot. So I've got my big black pot on the back there hot because we're going to make a glaze for the ham. So we're going to reduce that down while we're doing the porchetta. So get your pot on nice and hot. Get your oven up to 200. We're going to do the porchetta first.
Yep.
And we're going to get that in the oven, and that will take over an hour to cook. So if you're eating along, you know, stay with us.
Keep moving.
All right. So first of all, what do we need?
go.
Call out the ingredients, Whitey.
All right. So first off, for the glaze we need.
No, for the porchetta, Whitey.
Oh, the porchetta. That's exactly right. We need a 2.5 kilo pork belly.
Here we go.
250 grams of pork mince.
Yep.
250 grams of chicken mince.
Yep.
A bunch of sage chopped.
Yep.
Half a bunch of rosemary.
Right.
It's all in there.
Half a bunch of fat leaf parsley.
Yep.
A large brown onion.
Yep.
A bunch of chard or silver beet.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do we keep saying? Yeah.
Some fennel seeds. Ginger powder. Nutmeg. Ground cinnamon. Smoked paprika. Cayenne pepper.
Come on, get it
Garlic,
to the line. Get it to the line.
Breadcrumbs.
Right it. Come on.
Extra virgin olive oil.
Come on.
Butter.
Butter.
Some butcher's string.
Yeah, right. Anyway,
And some salt.
I'll interject here. So we've got the mince, the two types of mince, the chicken and the pork. To this, we've sweated off earlier on because you want to let it cool down. We sweated off some onions, some garlic, some sage, some smoked paprika, some ginger powder. You can add whatever you want. And into the breadcrumbs, I've blended some sage. And now you're just going to mix all that together. Whitey is actually.
Do you want a spoon?
Nah,
Oh,
it's got
hands up. Clean hands.
small hands. Smell like cabbage.
nice.
Carnies. Small hands smell like cabbage. Right, so what you got to do is, you've got your pork belly. So obviously a beautiful sharp Wusthof knife. We're just going to score the skin. You don't want to go all the way through, and this is going to give you perfect crackling. A good thing. Big shout out to Malanda Park for the pigs. We've been supplying us for years. A great product. Been doing it very tough with droughts and you know, fires and corona. Support your local farmers. Peter's Meats for supplying all the meat as well. My good friend Anthony Baharich, support all your local butchers. All right. So see the way you're just getting a little score in there? You watching, Whitey?
Yep. Good scoring.
Good scoring.
So
what
how
happens,
deep are you scoring there?
like Adele says, not too deep. So what you want to do is you just keep scoring it
Is
randomly.
anyone cooking along with us tonight, or is everybody just settling in with an Aperol spritz? And
Big shout out to people in Sawtell, the Hilltop people, Carla and Richie. If you're down in Sawtell or Bellagin, go and visit our good friends.
a couple of people said hello. Belinda and Ramiz said hello. Thank you for doing this, and love and enjoy watching you cook.
Pleasure. Right, stage one. So Whitey's made the stuffing there. So you add your breadcrumbs or whatever. So it just tastes like stuffing you would get in a chicken or whatever. So now, right, so you got your loin and then it tapers out to your belly. So I'm going to be a bit controversial, and this is not the way the Italians do it. So there's a couple of nonnas going to choke on the boiled sweets at the minute. So this is the way you do it, yeah? We're going to make sort of a pinwheel. So normally you would just roll it like that.
Yep.
The Italian nonna's very lazy, very lazy.
Move.
Right, so what we're going to do is run the knife through the actual loin, right? But you're not cutting all the way through, right? And then what you do is you start flattening out the loin. You with me, Whitey?
Yep.
Right?
So that looks like a very sharp knife.
It is the sharpest Wusthof knife I could find. It's the new range. Look at that one. Your little filleting knife. It's great.
Oh.
So what you do when you're buying your for Christmas presents, buy a good knife. Like, spend the money on a good knife. Like, don't be buying rubbish ones. Also buy a steel, because you need a knife and a steel every time you use it. 45-degree angle, and it lasts you a lifetime. Don't be going to these dodgy knife sharpeners. You know, they see on the back of the motorbike with the wheel.
Yeah,
Just buy a
good.
proper steel. Wusthof steel, right? Back to where we were at. So our little flatten out the pork. So see the way we flattened it out? And then I make a little few incisions here, because that's where the seasoning's going to go in. Right? You with me, Whitey?
Yep, it looks good.
Any questions?
No,
What are you waiting
everybody's
at?
just busy making their Aperol
There's some
spritz.
flies.
Okay. Next up, it's hot now tonight.
It is hot.
Maybe just you, Whitey. Some beautiful Olsen's Australian salt. We're using Australian pork, Australian salt. Get the salt into the cracks.
Not already.
Right, get the salt into the cracks. Shut up, Whitey. Right, so what you're going to do now is, this is the controversial bit. This is the common sense cook bit. So you've got your salt in there, you've got your flavouring. So now what I do is I layer with chard.
Silver
Right.
baked.
Silver beet, chard. Right? I'm not wearing nice. Can't read. So what's happening here is, so we flattened out the pork, we've put in the chard, and then we roll it, you're going to get a pinwheel effect. So it's not just an ordinary porchetta. See that, Woody?
Yep, it's beautiful.
Thank you. Right, so I add that. I've got some fennel tops here from the salad I'm going to make later. Get your fennel tops in there. Any questions, Jan?
No.
Right.
And that can be any good fresh herb you got in the
Yeah,
in the garden.
we use a rainbow chard, you like basil, tarragon, beautiful in there. If you've got any questions about what you want to cook for Christmas dinner, hit us up here on now. Right, so we got our stuffing, right? So it's good if you make this the day before or whatever, so all the sort of the herbs and the garlic sort of marinates inside the stuffing. And then we just sort of flake that over. Grab that bit off the floor, Woody. We're eating it, so it's okay.
So Australia Pork had a Facebook competition.
Yeah.
Linked to this class, and the winner's on.
So
I think
the
they
best-
got the food delivered to them, so they should be cooking along.
So one of the best questions, you're going to win a knife. So you send us your email address, you'll win a beautiful Wusthof knife. And for the other best questions, we're going to give away some common sense cookbooks. So start thinking of some questions, people. It's all a bit quiet.
And if anybody's cooking along, post some photographs.
Right?
There'll be a knife for the best photograph of the dish either tonight or within the next.
Yeah, you've got a $200 knife.
Yep.
So what you got now is, see the way you've spread all the stuffing, what would you call it, the mince. So you get a nice flat surface. I'm actually just going to wet my hands.
So just to reiterate, there's two prizes. Both get knives. The first one is the best question of the night. That
So
will
with
be
a wet
announced
hand?
at the end of tonight.
press
The
down your
second
stuffing.
one is you've got a week to do these dishes. Post a photograph, tag in By Fassnidge.
We'll just wait.
You've got the terms and conditions.
This time
we'll
next
just
week
wait.
we will announce the winner and you get a knife.
It's like that ad. You
Move
know where
on.
the person keeps talking really fast
on.
at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, terms and conditions apply.
Okay. So now what we do is, this is where the magic happens. You're in charge of string, so you probably want to, I don't know about that long.
Clayton, can you write in the name of the knife brand there, please?
Okay, you watching? So now what we're going to do is we're going to roll. So we flattened out the pork and now we're rolling. So that's your loin, and we're just starting to roll here now. So you can see what's happening. You're starting to get the pinwheel.
Got a question. If they're not cooking pork, can they use the same technique for the leg of lamb?
You could, but I'd be very careful. You could, right? You could use a lamb belly, which would work beautiful because the fat is really good. But if you're using a lamb leg, it might dry out by the time you cook it. You know what I mean? So you don't want it too dry because the belly has got a much better fat content.
And somebody else wants to know what we're having for Christmas lunch.
Well, it looks like this at the stage.
I think
many
we're
days do you
eating
want?
pork from
Oh,
now
about
to
8.
2022.
So what you would do now is olive oil this, roll it with some rock salt, get it in the oven at 200, 220 till it starts to get a nice crisp, and then lower it down to about 140, 160 for an hour. And then all you do then is you probe it with a kitchen thermometer till it's 60 degrees inside, and that way you're going to have beautifully cooked, moist pork. Because you need this 60 degrees to get into the center where the stuffing is. Right, give me some string, buddy.
Here we go. Yeah, number one.
All right, so you can. So what you want to do is a double knot, 1, 2, 3 actually. Fold over 3 times. So then when you squeeze it, it stays. How's Burke Street Bakery, Whitey?
Yeah, good. It's, we had all of the seating and everything went back into most of the bakeries this week, which sort of started really well until we had the massive outbreaks again in New South Wales yesterday, which
Yeah, now they're
could be
talking
another
about
problem.
closing borders again.
was horrible for me.
Hello, Anastasia. You're boarded.
So-
Go.
Carrie B wants to know where Maeve and Lily are tonight.
They're in their rooms on their iPads. They're being very annoying today, so they actually got fired. Right,
Maeve was
Whitey?
on last night, actually. She was pretty good
Yeah,
last
maybe
night.
it's good last night. Okay, so see the way you've got your pork now, so you do your 3 knots. Don't worry if it looks a bit rough at the end, because that just roasts out. So see that? 1, 2, 3. Actually give that a little.
So is this something, if you were doing it for Christmas dinner, Christmas lunch, you could prepare a day in advance? Or
I
a
would
couple of
make
days
this.
in advance?
I would make this nearly 2 days in advance, and leave it sit in the fridge like this, uncovered, so the skin will turn brown, and you'll get a much better crackling, uncovered, yeah. And your stuffing sort of marinates a bit. So what you do is just trim that off.
Belinda would like to know, we don't sear this off like your pork belly we did in May.
No, but you could, but it could be a little bit dangerous. I have done it in the past where you sear it off in a big pan with fat, but if you haven't done that before, I wouldn't do it. But I mean, if you buy your pork, there's a hair there. It's obviously not
It's
yours.
not mine.
If you buy your pork far in advance, you're not going to need to sear it. Oh, look at that.
And salted. Did you talk about how you...
Yeah, salt,
flopped
yeah.
and salted?
Right. Have you still selling the mother for the bread?
Yeah, we call it the starter. Yeah, we
Starter.
do. George.
George.
George is still. There's plenty of George going out today.
So down in Burke Street, you can buy the starter for your bread. People aren't probably making bread anymore.
Yeah, there's still a few. Surprisingly, I wouldn't be doing it
Well, you do work for a,
if I didn't have to.
you sort of work for a bread company.
Yeah, I know, but you're best off coming and buying it from us instead of trying to do it yourself.
From the guy who makes bread, I wouldn't bother making bread.
No. Leave it to the experts.
Natalie would like to know, could you cook this in a pizza oven? Like an outdoor pizza
Yes,
oven?
yeah,
Natalie?
you
Is that
could.
what you mean?
You obviously don't want it too hot. You want the embers to sort of go down so that obviously the heat's rolling because you don't want to scorch the skin. So there you go, right? So that was our belly that we've like.
So William would like to know, can you overdo the scoring of the skin? He thinks had too many cuts?
Oh, no, you'd be all right. So look, maybe we've just come out of a pandemic. It's not the end of it. It's a first world problem, this. So what you got to do? No, you're all right. Like some of them are a bit deep. I wouldn't normally go, but Whitey's, you know, in the way.
You.
It's distracting me.
But the ideal score is just through the rind and not into the meat, not into the
But
flesh.
I think he was referring to the amount that he did. Like,
Oh, no.
Can you overdo the amount that
No. Just keep go for broke. And then you can score little bits around it now that you've seen that haven't scored. And you can score it actually easier when it's rolled. Just be careful because these Wusthof knives are very sharp.
Super sharp.
Super sharp. It's very hot. We need some air conditioning. What's a good air conditioning company?
Maybe Mitsubishi.
Mitsubishi, like we could need some Mitsubishi air conditioning in here. Whew. All right, so that's going to go in the oven. I've already got one in. So that's going to take an hour at least. So probe it. Where's our little probe? So what you want to do is you buy your Wusthof knife, you buy your steel. Don't go crazy buying a million things. You buy a thermometer that costs $8. So that will tell you how your meat's cooked. So you want to get to 60 degrees. Pretty good, what do you?
Well done.
Right, turn the board over. Hygiene.
Wipe that down first before it goes on the table. Deb Watkins loves your new book and looking forward to watching you in action tonight.
Beautiful. Favourite recipes from the book? Anyone who's used it? Favourite recipes?
William thinks he needs one of those knives. Clayton, do you want to type in where you can get the knives from? I think it did come up. There's a website for it.
There you go. Get a look at them. That's the brand we're using.
Little list.
WSTHOF. Wusthof.
WUST.
WU.
Did I leave the U out? Do you call it a U with the two dots on top?
Oh, mate, stop, will you?
Right.
Goes.
RSA him.
Great Christmas presents. There you go. Like, imagine getting that as a cook. Imagine that. It's common sense, Whitey.
Perfect.
And a steel.
And the steel. Imagine getting that. And a microplane. That's what every cook needs. That's the ideal package for an aspiring cook.
Yeah.
See that? Okay. Next up, let's go. What's next, Whitey?
I think we might do the glaze.
The glaze. Right, so this glaze, we normally do with like barbecue ribs, like lamb ribs or whatever. We used to do it at 414. We do it at pork ribs. So, I'll just show you because, look at that. Love that guy. So that is the glaze we're doing. It's from the Common Sense Cook. So there you go. So that is the glaze we're going to do tonight. So it's all smoky, it's sweet, it's sour all at the same time, and it's got a little bit of spice. You can change it up yourself. You can add more chili, add more ginger. But when you make this, make more than you need. So say if you needed 500 mils, make 2 litres and just freeze it in a takeaway container. Next time you cook ribs or whatever, or your Christmas ham, this is the sauce to go to.
Deb wants to know, is there a trick to getting great crackle on your porchetta?
Well, Deb, as I was saying, what you do is you buy the pork a couple of days before, leave it in the fridge uncovered, sprinkle it with a bit of salt, but do not cover it, and the fridge air dries it, and that's how you get crackle.
And a couple of hi to friends. Judy Ann's on from last night.
How are you? We were a bit drunk on your podcast last night.
I was drunk or sober.
I wasn't.
We in the same sentence. And who else is there? Wine Rogue.
Oh,
Vinny from...
Vinny, I hope you're going well in
Very
Melbourne.
busy.
All right, bring over all the ingredients, Whitey, because it is a cookery show. People. Now, everyone just calm down. I understand there's a lot of products that are not exactly picked from the garden here. But this is one of those times of year where you can make this sauce in batch. You probably could make everything fresh except Coca-Cola. But you know what I mean? Just stay with me on this one. The end result of this is amazing. It's I know there's a lot of processed food here, but it's the only thing that's processed apart from Whitey
Christmas.
here tonight. It's Christmas. Right, Whitey, let's talk to the recipe. There was fresh ginger there as well. Fresh ginger, just over there, Whitey.
Thank you.
Thank you, Whitey.
And some of these other things.
Oh, star anise. How do you say it?
Star anise.
Star anise. Okay, let's talk to the recipe.
All right, 2 litres of sugar-free Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
See the way I've added sugar-free.
Yep, well done.
well, because there's no sugar in that now.
500 mil of barbecue sauce.
Yeah. Hold
100
on.
mil.
Stop for a second.
Sorry.
What? Ginger. Don't even peel it. It's just throw it in. Ginger. Star anise. See, I've learned to say it after a year. Just throw it in because you're going to blend it all up. Cinnamon. Just throw it in. Okay? Cinnamon. Just throw it in.
And just for everyone at home, the ginger's not on the recipe, but you're more than welcome to put it in.
In the book, it's in the recipe. Change it.
not.
Clayton did it, so it's normal, just Clayton.
400 mil of apple cider vinegar.
All right, start again. Where were we?
Sorry, let's go.
Coca-Cola.
2 litres of Coke, 500 mils barbecue sauce.
So hold on. Barbecue. What's in that?
Spot on.
Yeah, there you go. 5, right? So obviously you're going to make more than you need. 5, yeah?
And
Next.
then we're tomato passata, 500 mil.
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Sriracha, 100 mil.
200.
What's it called?
Sriracha.
Sriracha. What's sriracha? Sriracha.
Yeah, that's it.
And you slag my stand. How much?
100 mil.
Oh, that's a bit more.
Oh,
than
yeah,
that.
okay,
that's
well,
all right.
okay.
Then we're 400 mil apple cider vinegar.
Yeah.
I'm slightly concerned at the size of our
So
jug.
am I. We didn't fact check the size
Right,
of the
next,
blender.
yeah.
Then we've got onion powder,
Yeah.
garlic powder.
Onions in the jar.
Oh, is that onion powder?
Yeah.
There you go.
So you want 20 grams?
Oh,
Yeah,
this?
it's all right, it's all right. It's Christmas,
God.
We
let's
want
go.
20 grams of garlic powder.
Yeah.
We want 20 grams of smoked paprika.
Yeah, beautiful.
And then we need 2 cinnamon quills,
Yeah, they're in there.
5 star anise,
Yeah, they're in there.
and then we need 15 mil of fish sauce.
Fish sauce. So the fish sauce. So all this you've got sweet, sour, smoky. The cola adds a flavour. Like the cola in barbecue, in American barbecue, is
15 mil.
it's-
Stop.
All right, mate, calm down.
Everything's gluten-free tonight, isn't it?
Well, apart from the stuffing in the bread and that. So now we're going to blend this. Stand back. Sit down, Marty. You're part of the show there.
Sorry. right.
And put a pot on top of that. I just double check all the ingredients.
Okay.
Hold on,
blender,
Baz,
good
just
blender.
to
You like
confirm, there
what?
is breadcrumbs in the porchetta, and I will.
You can
confirm
leave the
all
breadcrumbs
these
out, Jane. Stop
ingredients
cooking for a
'cause
minute.
they're
You can
boiling.
leave the breadcrumbs out. Any bread that's in the recipes you can leave out. Like you can just use a meat stuffing, it's fine. Right, so that's everything's blended now, and we're going to add the Coke to it. So we'll add the Coke to the hot pot that's on. Get a big pot; it will reduce quicker in time. So follow me over, and
Go.
so this pot's been on for a while. It's hot.
Making enough of
Yeah.
Hot Coke is like when you were sick and you were a kid and you used to boil the Coke.
And then you add your thicker ingredients, and then rinse your jug out. So you're going to reduce this till it gets nice and thick and sticky, because that's what's going to glaze your Christmas ham. Whoa, a lot of sriracha in there.
Fair bit of garlic powder as well.
Yeah, and the onion powder. It was more than 15 mils.
There's a bit of sriracha. Okay.
I'm so happy he's found something that I can't pronounce.
So right, we're going to reduce that down now. So we're going to get it nice and sticky so it glazes. Okay, back on track. The old sriracha cuts your throat, doesn't it? Whitey,
It'll cut you off.
the sriracha. Any questions on what we've done? So you got your porchetta in, you can do that days before. This sauce you could make weeks before, freeze it, get some of the backpack or whatever.
Backpacker.
Well, I don't know. You can buy backpackers now, Jane. Do you not watch the shopping channel at 4 in the morning when you've had too much whiskey? Right. This is a beautiful ham. Who's this one from, Jane?
Peter's Meat's got that one. It's Australian ham because I looked for the kangaroo.
So Australian ham, You
Ham
know
and
it's
onions.
Australian. Fuck, it's like the Jane
Language.
Holland fucking show. So Australian ham, thank you, is because you've got a bone in it, then it's Australian. If it doesn't have a bone in it, sometimes it could be imported. And also it's got the little logo that Whitey spoke about.
The kangaroo.
Right.
Colin, Monique has a question. If you're doing this in a dry pan, can you go over how long that would take and then how long in the oven?
What?
The dry pan. We'll come back to that one. Suzanne wants to know, is the glaze in the book? Yes,
The
it is.
glaze is in the book. It's under the ribs. Right, so when you buy your ham, watch this. This is a hack that will make you meals the day after your ham. So see this skin? A lot of people get rid of this skin. So this has got all the smoky flavour on it. So what you do is, you get your fingers under there and just pull your skin off. Don't start, Whitey. All right.
How long will the stuffing mix keep for? Somebody's got a smaller pork belly for tonight.
Well, yeah, it'll keep a few days, 4 days maybe.
Or throw it in the freezer.
Throw it in the freezer,
Throw it
yeah.
in the freezer, yeah.
Make extra for the next time you have a porchetta. So see this. I'm going to actually put this into the glaze because the smokiness of the skin will flavour the actual glaze for the ham, which is going over the ham. If you didn't want to do that, you chop this up. You throw this in a pot with the bone from the ham and maybe a little bit of leftover meat. Boil it up with some split peas and you've got the best pea and ham soup ever for later on in the week. So when you're finished with your ham, use the bone. Is that top meant to be on?
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's very annoying while we're cooking. So this, do not throw this away because it's going to flavour the dish. So that's going into our sauce.
You're an ideas man, Colin.
Mate, no waste. See this? So that goes into the sauce. Okay. So what I do is, obviously, I live in a house with only 4 people. So I would not cook this.
5 sometimes.
Do you have to keep making noise?
Carry on.
So this is an awful lot of ham. So you know what I mean? It's going to sit in the fridge. Could go off, could go. So I'm just going to use, what we do on the day is we'll use like half it. So I go down along the bone to the knuckle. And what I do with our ham is I break it down into little sections and then we wrap it and freeze it. So you don't have to use the whole, and then get your hands in there. So there's a little bone in there, a knuckle. Let's get my Wusthof boning knife in there. Right, like Moses parting the seas. Yeah. Hey? What you do is you let gravity. You're going to hear a pop. Oh, could have been a doctor. Could have been a doctor.
An old man falling over, breaking his hip.
So see all this? Keep all this, these little nuggets. They're great with your lump of ham there. Boil them up. Hang on. Hold on, Mary. So that's your joint. What I learned is don't give the ham bone to the dog
Yeah.
because it comes out the other end.
Oh, really?
Not like ham.
Yeah.
Right? Pop your bone out. So see this? This is what goes into your stock to make your pea and ham soup. Do not throw this away. I might actually I'll throw it into our, all right, so see this? I'm gonna go along the bone now. So you break it down into manageable. Obviously you can do the whole ham if you want, but if you've got 20 people over here, great. But if you've got only a few, break it down into joints you need and just follow the bone. Right, so you break it into manageable joints. So on Christmas Day, like if you've only got 3-4 people over, like that's enough. If you've got porchetta, you got turkey, you got whatever.
So can you freeze the rest?
You can freeze whatever you want. Keep all the skin. Do not waste it. The knuckle, this makes great soup. Where are we now?
Smells good already, the glaze.
Or even if you buy a ham between 2 families and break it down like this, you know what I mean? It's a year of sort of sharing, isn't it? We're all in this together, apparently. That's what they said on the ad.
Yep.
right? So see this bone? So what you do then is you trim this. This is for your sandwiches tomorrow or whatever, or your croque monsieur or whatever. Trim everything off the bone. Do not throw the bone away. This is what you make your soup with, make your ham stock. Boil this up, add some dried white beans. You've got a beautiful soup on Boxing Day, whatever you call it. St. Stephen's Day if you're in Ireland.
Really?
You're not outside Boxing Day. They do in Northern Ireland.
Yeah, right.
Right, so look at that. So that's your ham broken down. There's still a lot of meat on there. Pick all that off. But rather than serve the whole ham and leave it in the fridge to go off, break it into little portions. We're going to glaze it and serve that.
Can you please discuss how long to cook when frying the crackle in the pan first? So if they were frying the porchetta in the pan.
Yeah. Look, I would, that's fine, thank you. I would advise against frying the porchetta in a pan of oil, because if you can't control it, I've burnt my entire arm doing that before, and I do that as a job.
What about if it was a flat pork belly?
Oh, flat pork belly. Well, you start it like you start it in a cold pan of cold oil. Just be careful it doesn't spit. Make sure it's scored. And then it'll start to bubble within 2 minutes, and you just got to control it. Just make sure your heat's not too high and you can actually control the heat.
Yeah,
all right.
Roll on the porchetta over is really dangerous.
Yeah, very dangerous. It's like rolling whitey over on a Saturday night, or like after a few beers. Very dangerous. Right. So keep all this. See all this?
Does that make sense, Monique?
The trimming. So see that? So obviously that would feed nearly, what, 6 people?
At least.
Do that.
So a slice of that, then you could glaze that. So we'll glaze these. I like these small ones because they're easier to heat up, easier to portion. And then what you would do is just freeze these, and then later on in the year you want to have this, keep the glaze. You could actually freeze it in a backpack bag or a bag with the glaze in it, and then you just bring it back a year later. Hey?
Perfect. I don't know if I'd go a year, but
No, that's pushing it. Let's get to Easter.
So let's have a look at the glaze. So see the way it's starting to thicken up already? We've got your ham bones in there. You're starting to flavour it. Have a little taste. Yep, getting there. It needs a bit more vinegar, I think. But I'll add that at the end.
6:30.
Oh, we're flying ahead. Next up. Any questions? Next up, not on the list. So we're waiting for the glaze to come down for the ham. So we'll just move this out of the way. Next up, very asked question. Roast potatoes, the perfect roast potatoes. How would you do them, Whitey?
I'd ring the Irish mate and ask him.
Correct, that's exactly. If an Irishman can't cook potatoes, so find the potatoes in there. So what you want to do is, Desirees are great. So you're planning Christmas Day, buy some Desiree potatoes, cook them on the 23rd of December for the 25th, right? So cook them till they start to fall apart like this. See this? And leave them in the fridge for 2 days. So what happens is the fridge dries the starch, and that's what's going to give you the crispy. You know that bit when you go to the fish and chip shop and you get the crispy bits? That's what's going to give you the crispy bit.
So do you leave them uncovered in the fridge?
Uncovered. It's mate, go the vegetables. It's not.
Mate, I'll tell you, there's 18 potato recipes in your book.
Right. So what you want to do is, it's not easy to be racist, mate. Like, well, the man with no hair with it.
Stop.
It's the vegetables at the start.
Yeah, I know, but I was going to look for the other ones in the midsection.
Right, I need a whiskey for this. Right, so what you want to do is, you want to, there you go, right? Show that, Whitey. Put it here. There's that thing called camera there. See that? Fuck me. There you go.
That one.
So see the little crispy bits?
Yep.
Right. So that's what we're going to do, yeah? So you cook your potatoes, you let them go cold, and then what you do is, don't bother peeling them. The skin is fine. Like, people spend too much time like peeling garlic, peeling ginger. Don't worry about it. And then you're just going to press them. And what you're going to do then is, see the press? So see the way you've got all these little breaks? That's what's going to give you the crispy bit, because that's where the fat's going to go in, and that's what's going to give you the crispy bit.
Do you have a favourite varietal of potato?
I just said Desiree about 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, he does.
Desiree. Or I do like a good Kifler.
Kipler. Yeah.
Kipler. So like sriracha. So then you just crush your potatoes. So you could crush them 2 days before, and all this stuff dries out, and that's what gives you a crispy potato. So the whole thing about, getting stressed about Christmas lunch, you can have the porchetta, or if you're doing it, whatever, done 2 days before. The potatoes can be cooked 2 days before. You're going to roast them the same time as the porchetta. What else we got on? The sauce for the glaze is done, you can do a week before. The ham you can have done days before. So basically on the day, you're just reheating, because it shouldn't be where you're stressed. It's not MK or me, you know what I mean? You shouldn't be stressed on the day.
And so reheating all of those things is just back into a moderate oven, covered in foil and...
Well, no, because the porchetta is going to be a high oven,
Yeah.
and then halfway through when you lower your porchetta down, you get your roast potatoes in. So that's how moderate, Robin. Right, so crush your potatoes. Any questions? Clayton, any questions? We're out here in our own, Woody. We're out here in our
Running
own.
so
We're-
smoothly,
No, there
everyone's
is
in
no
control.
questions, Colin. When there is, I'll yell out.
Okay. Thanks, Jane. Thanks for the advice. To speed things along, I get a roasting tray in the oven already to start. I get a good glug of olive oil, or you can use bran oil, vegetable oil. And then what you want to do is get your potatoes in. You don't want to overload the tray where you've got them on top.
Is that pan? How long's it been in the oven
That's
for?
been in for an hour.
Ooh.
I was going to tell Whitey to pick it up, but I didn't.
Too smart for that.
Yeah, you're too smart, bro. Now, don't worry about the amount of oil. You're going to add extra oil, but then you can pour it out and keep it for the next time you roast your potatoes. And have some smashed garlic and some rosemary as well, so get a bit more oil in there. Get some salt in there straight away so that it roasts. Get some pepper. No, garlic and rosemary and all that we'll add later on. So what you're going to do now is, I'm going to start these on the stove to get a bit of colour. Read through the recipe there, Woody.
There is no recipe for this one.
Yeah, there is, mate. Shush.
So the recipe for this one is 8 to 10 Desiree potatoes peeled and quartered, some fresh Aussie salt, black pepper, vegetable or olive oil, 1 garlic bulb, a bunch of thyme, a bunch of rosemary, some salted butter.
So, question, what's the difference between an Irish and an Aussie summer Christmas experience?
14 whiskies.
About 26 degrees.
An Irish Christmas is everyone goes out on Christmas Eve, gets absolutely rowed off, comes home and eats half the ham. So you've only got half the ham left the next day. And then you get up and you have a turkey, you have ham, like you've too much food. You've got potatoes cooked 65 ways. Sprouts have been on a week before, and the cabbage has been cooked a week before.
And then talk through now your Australian Christmases.
Australian Christmas is beach the night before. Probably far too much alcohol with you and other people.
Still has his ham sandwiches at
And then a ham sandwich at night time, but we'd have seafood and a swim the next day. You go straight down the beach, clear the head, bush.
Ramesh wants to know, they usually boil their potatoes and then put them straight into the oven to get them crispy.
Nah, so
This would be okay, or is it best to do it your way?
you can do it that way, like boil. But the whole thing is you want as much moisture out of the potato. So when you boil them, you can leave them on a tray for a little while. So the steam, you can see the steam going into the atmosphere. You want the moisture out, because if you've got too much moisture, you're not going to get a crisp.
Or even pour the water out of the pot and leave the heat going for a bit as well.
Yeah, so pour the water out, leave the heat on, and you see all that steam come out, and then leave them for half an hour, and then you can roast them. But the day before works better. Right, just gonna wash my Wusthof knives.
You can point those things around.
Whitey, talk us through what you brought tonight.
Oh, well, tonight I bought some gingerbread men.
Well, take them out.
I thought the girls were going to come and decorate them, but I didn't know you'd sacked the girls yesterday.
No, they got sacked.
No, it might be out. Hold on. Do you need this one?
No, we might be able to.
There
Lily,
you go. She's gone
Who
cold.
Lily, come over here. Cooking with Maeve got fired, so we've only got Lily.
Where's Maeve and the boys?
Sit in here, sit in here.
What?
Sit in here. Say hello.
Where?
In your new pajamas. Say hello.
Camera.
Hi.
Good God.
Okay.
So, I've just brought over some gingerbread people, we call them now, that we've baked off today, and these are ready for you to decorate.
Why do you call them people?
Well, because they're
The
non-gender.
non-gender,
Non-gender.
non-binary gender.
They actually look like seals. So, we're going to decorate the gingerbread people.
Excuse me.
Oh, hold on, here comes the cavalry. Are you doing it? Decorating.
Come on in,
Wash
quick.
your hands, wash your hands.
There's icing.
That's how you're decorating.
Right.
Do you want to have a go as well?
Maybe
Quick, come on, come on, come on. Say hello. You're on
I
TV.
like the pink one.
I'll open it for
Yeah,
you.
hold on, let the boys in as well. We got
Chopping
two
board.
flights.
Please.
Hey,
You can.
Right, squeeze in, squeeze in.
well done for washing your hands.
Quick, quick.
Me pink one.
What was on your hands, Archie?
And with these, so these are like little mini piping bags.
So they're not a man or a woman, they're a
Bailey.
Here.
person. Right, go.
There are people. So
Let's go, let's
you
go.
wanna Just wait. You want to try and hold it.
You're in,
so
you're in.
Where's the phone?
When you squeeze
You don't
it a
need
little
to.
bit,
It's
it's coming
good.
out there. If you hold it
Go,
too far
you're done.
down here,
Go.
everything will come out the back. So you
It's
want
okay,
to hold
no one
it down
knows.
a little bit, bring your hand around, and then just a little squeeze.
Can't have you.
I might have, if it's too, if it's a little bit, if it's a hole too small, I can have to lift it for you.
You're just decorating them. Okay. Right, while you're out of the way.
Too small.
So what's in there? What's the recipe for the gingerbread men? Oh, people. People.
Hang on a sec.
Lily, move over and let Bailey in. Is it Bailey?
Oh,
Archer.
Go, go, go. Squeeze in.
Okay.
Right, no drawing any rude bits or anything like that, like.
You're in that one. Here, you go that one, Archie. So do you like porchetta?
so
Okay.
these are really,
Do you like ham?
really simple gingerbread biscuit. The recipe will be up on the website, I think.
So you can
straight
get
after
them
the show.
in Burke Street. You can buy them, hang them on the tree, decorate your own. Get them in Burke Street Bakery. Why do you be down there? He's a small guy with no hair, usually sunburnt.
I'll sign them for you tomorrow. But they're good fun. They're really, really simple to make. You know, you can just
Hi, there's some ideas.
make houses, make people.
All right, kids, hurry up
We're
because
on a time
you're
limit,
on a
though. We
timer.
don't
It's not
need-
your show, kids.
It's
You
not
like
fun golf. Just do a quick little.
got a
decoration.
segment and that's it. Have a look at the
that's
sauce.
And just that's on page 333 of the Burke Street book.
Right. Anyway, we're not here to plug Burke Street tonight. So have a look at our sauce over here now. You can see it's starting to thicken up. So we're going to take it a little bit more, and then we're going to put our ham into the sauce. We're going to bake it in the oven, and that's what's going to give that sticky glaze.
Say that again.
Why?
Because I just missed that.
So I'm going to put my ham. I'm going to heat up a pan because we're under time constraints. I'm going to put some ham in there. So here we go.
So what, is that reduced by about a third?
Yeah, and now I'm going to ladle over some ham. Haven't got a ladle. So what I'm going to do is you put your glaze over your ham. So obviously I told you make more than you need. You can start it on the top of the stove to just get it going. So this is going to boil up now, and then I'm going to keep glazing it, and then I'm going to pop it in the oven, and it's going to get nice and sticky. Have a little taste. Stunning, stunning. All right, what's next? Salad. All right, kids, you're out. You're fired. Big round for the kids. You're now fired. You're out.
Hey!
Take them with you.
I'll take the board with you, we'll go and
downstairs.
Watch the dread.
No,
Don't
I'll
spill
take that
any.
for you, mate.
And don't give it to the. Oh, well done. That looks really good. All right.
I'll bring that to
Take
you.
it. Happy Christmas.
Watch the icing on my carpet. Right.
Ready?
Go.
I dropped one.
Oh no. Oh.
Oh, you dropped a person. It's not a man.
No, just drop some icing.
Okay, right. Let's go, Whitey. Back on track. Back on
All right,
track.
watermelon.
Right, here, you carry that one down.
So we've got our ham on, our glaze is reduced, we got the ham in the pan, the glaze is going to get sticky. We've had kids running around, we've got dogs, we've got sausage stuffing on the floor.
Don't mention the dogs, we haven't got
need a
them
whisk.
yet. They've heard you.
Now we're on to the watermelon salad.
The porchetta's in the oven, I'm just going to probe it with my $8 probe. So have a look at the ham. See the way it's starting to reduce now? I'm going to get that sticky. Look at the porchetta. Look at that, people. Look at that. So see all your scores. I actually forgot to tell you, put some potatoes on the bottom and just roast it. So, what temperature are we at? I'm at 42 degrees. By the time we finish, we'll be at 60.
Deb would like to know, if you're doing a whole ham, do you just brush on the glaze?
Yeah, so obviously, hang on. So Deb, if you're doing a whole ham, what you do is you peel back the ham like we did. You make, I reckon, the same amount of glaze we've made, like we've made a large batch of glaze, but for a whole ham, you get a tray that's obviously not too big, but sort of snug enough, so when the liquid's reduced, they keep basting it. But just pull that skin off, and then you get it in the oven. Probably it'll take an hour and a half, like at 160, when your sauce is reduced, and keep basting it so that base gets sticky. Then you put another base on, it gets sticky, so you build up a whole layer of.
And if I was doing a whole ham, I'd be more inclined to put a few big scores in it to retain some of the stickiness as well.
Good point. I was
So your
about to
professional
say that.
opinion
I was about to say that.
So now we're on to the watermelon salad, and it says half a small watermelon. We've got a quarter of a medium watermelon.
Look at that. See, the Wusthof just went straight through that, straight through. Goes through concrete.
Yeah.
Do you have a bowl to mix that in?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do, Jane. Thank you.
So for this, we have half a small watermelon or quarter of a medium size.
Watch this, Whitey. The Wusthof. Watch this Wusthof.
Almost straight through.
Oh, look at this. Almost.
All right.
Look at that. The Wusthof straight
We
through.
need them a reasonable size. We need 2 bulbs of fennel, thinly sliced.
We got 2 bulbs of fennel.
We need 200 grams of green peas defrosted.
We got the green peas defrosted.
200 grams of sheep feta.
We got 200 grams of sheep feta.
200 mils of Australian extra virgin olive oil.
Australian. Yeah, we got that.
And then we need some lemon juice and zest of 2 lemons.
And we're going to use the zest, so get a microplane, because the zest is a vital thing. So we don't need any sriracha.
No sriracha.
No sriracha.
Ginger.
No ginger, no
sour
sriracha.
But you know what we keep missing off that recipe is the mint. You
Oh.
can't add mint.
Oh, yeah. Clayton didn't put that
Yeah.
in. All right.
Every time.
Probably the second most important ingredient.
Yeah,
on the
probably. Right, so what you got is, you're going to trim the watermelon. So everything else you can do days before, but the salad is probably, something
On
you
the
want to
day.
do on the day. And if you haven't got time to do that, that's a first world problem, mate, because this is quite easy to do, huh?
Get out of bed 10 minutes earlier.
Yeah. Right, I cut it in blocks. I keep it quite rustic, and then I just square it up. So the beauty of this salad is you've got the juice of the watermelon, so it goes really well with the pork. So you got the juice of the watermelon, you got the crispness of the raw fennel, you got the sweetness of the peas, and then you got the saltiness of the feta. And it's like
all balanced.
cleans your palate. You actually don't need a sauce with the actual pork or whatever, because it all cleans your palate.
And just back onto the recipe, it talks about using half a small watermelon so you can make a bowl out of it. And that's what serve it in for presentation.
Very good idea. Hold on, I've seen that somewhere. Find
Page
that.
12.
Page 12. Page 12. So this book, as I said in Dimmock's today, I signed.
Oh,
Look at that.
This is magic.
Over here, camera's there, bro. See? So what you do is you scoop out the entire watermelon and then fill it, and then you bring the neighbours around who you don't like, and they're just like, wow, look at that. Well, actually, no, you don't bring the neighbours around. Right, so you get the watermelon in there. You can actually pickle the skin if you want, but that's another day's class.
You keep saying that, but you've never done it.
I have. We do it
No,
at work,
never.
Jane. We do it at work. Anyway, thanks for the input. Right. Here we go. So we got, oh, check the ham. Hold on. Oh, look, we checked the ham. What's your hand? So I'm going to add a bit more sauce because the ham, see the way it's reduced a lot? Now you're at the sticky stage. This is, don't let it go too far. And now what you do is, you're starting to baste the ham. So see the way it's thick enough to baste? So now you're going to get a glaze. So this is going to go in the oven now, and this is going to stick to the ham.
Natalie just has a question. When you do the bowl for the melon, do you flatten the bottom?
Yes.
Yes, Natalie.
So the ham goes in. Just remember to check it. So obviously if you're looking at this, the viscosity starting to get thicker. See this? You want to go a little bit more.
Saying that, the viscosity.
Viscosity, it's my new word. So this now tastes of all the ingredients you put in, but it also tastes of the ham skin. So if you could cook pork ribs in this now, amazing, amazing. Poof. All right, let's go.
That's actually the recipe in the book is pork ribs.
Yeah, the recipe in the book's pork ribs, but it was the Christmas ham recipe. Okay,
Bite-sized pieces of watermelon, continuing.
you've got a small mouth. Okay. Next, right, so you got your, right, fennel. Keep the tops for garnish. You've paid for them, don't throw them away. Right, so we'll do that for garnish. I'll teach you how to chop with the Wusthof chopping knife, yeah? So what you do is, to chop, you get your fennel, obviously you cut it in half. Why do you cut it in half? Because so it doesn't roll around the board, so you're in charge, yeah? Clayton, you're wanted. See the way I'm all over this. Just tell me, Clayton's dreaming. Right, what we're going to do now is, there's people everywhere just causing trouble. So what we do now is you chop the fennel there so it doesn't move around, right? So you're in control, Whitey.
Yeah.
That's very rarely you're in control.
Very rare.
Yeah? And then what you do is you use your fingers to chop. Like, so obviously you don't chop like that because that's what you do when you're an apprentice. And you learn very quick not to do that. So you chop like this.
Make the claw. You make the claw. That's what it's called.
The claw. Fucking Cobra Kai over here. But yeah, Johnny, Cobra Kai, you make the claw. See how far making the claw gets you. You chicken. Right. Where were we? Cobra Kai, making the claw.
Okay, go. Come on.
Sweep the leg, Johnny.
All right, focus.
And then what you do is, right, use it. There you go, Whitey, make the claw. You do it. Make the claw.
What, making the claw?
Make the claw.
Nice and thin.
Oh, you're not too bad at that.
So I make the claw.
What you do is you scrunch your fingers like that and you just chop like that, make the claw. Right, Cobra Kai, we got this, and then we're going to add the fennel. So see the way it's quite chunky? Well, Whitey's is quite chunky because the claw, obviously you don't have enough whatever. So this is Whitey's claw. Look at that. And then what you're going to do is add the raw fennel to the watermelon. Right? Then we're going to pick our fennel tops. Do you use the claw to pick the tops?
No.
Right.
All right.
Right, stop talking, Jen. Then you pick the tops. There we go. That goes in there. Nice. And then we add the peas. Frozen peas, one of the best vegetables to buy frozen because they're picked in their prime. That's what the Green Giant told me.
Exactly
You
right.
don't add salt or pepper at the moment because you're going to add the feta. So what you're going to do is flake the feta through. So you want to do this a half an hour, 20 minutes before dinner, not too far in
So
advance.
ignore the method again and just listen to Colin.
What's the method say?
It says add lemon juice, salt and pepper before
Yeah.
the feta.
Yeah, it doesn't say salt. That's Clayton, mate. Clayton doesn't know what he's talking about. Pepper, because the feta is quite salty, so you don't want to add too
You
much
want
salt
to
with
taste
it.
it first.
Yeah, like it's Clayton, mate. That's why Clayton's
Yeah.
over there and we're here. And then we're going to add the zest of the lemon,
So
right?
if you were adding mint, when would you add the mint?
You'd add the mint now.
Yeah.
And then you're going to add some lemon zest. This zester's not very good.
Here.
Thank you. This is a better one, right? Oh yeah, look at that. So see the zest is going in there. If you've got a neighbour who's got a lemon tree, just steal them like we do. Hey mate. All right.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do. So we add the zest. So it's great. The zest is great in salt. What's the time?
Almost 7. 5
Right.
2.
You're meant to like keep us
It's not yet
on
7.
track.
It's 5 2.
Isn't that right? Lemon zest or lemon juice. Take out the pips. So you want a good bit of lemon because that's what brings the salad alive. Any questions?
No. Anyone, any questions? Pop
So
it
our
through.
pork's in the oven. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Check the glaze. Check the glaze. So have a look at that, right? So then what you do is, your glaze around the side is getting thick. Mix it, and then just keep basting. See the way it's starting to stay on top now? It's getting thicker. Right? So it's starting to get thicker. You're starting to get a little glaze on here now. Have a look at our sauce. It's starting, the bubbles are getting larger. So that goes back in the oven. Our roast potatoes, let's have a look at them. You're starting to get a bit of colour. So leave them in there to dry out. Let's have a look at the porchetta. Oh, look at that, look at that. Let's have a little. You can hear that, hey? That's, do you hear that already? I'm gonna add a splash of water to the potatoes in the bottom.
How long has that porchetta been in the oven for?
That's about an hour now. So look at that. Like, that's hard. High temperature at the start, and then you lower it right down. But obviously, because you've dried it out for a couple of days before, that's where you get your crackling. Well played, Fassnidge. Oh, sorry, broke the oven. Nearly broke the Millet oven there.
It's not Mila.
Oh, fucking Ilby. Nearly broke the Ilby oven. Ilby.
It's with the pot fit and everything.
Huh? That was nearly a slip. The Ilby oven is doing great. Cut.
There's a story behind that.
Story behind it. Olive oil. There is a recipe. Just add a good glug, yeah? Not in a recipe, a splash.
Jodie Ann would like to know why it's okay for you to use frozen peas, but it wasn't okay for her to use frozen corn on MKR.
Because I said, Jodie Ann, the frozen peas are the one vegetable that is best frozen from the original state. And you on the competition used frozen corn, which is not good, mate. And I told you, and I'm the judge, so I'm in charge, and that's where you got sent home.
And Natalie would like to know, how critical is the thermometer, or can you prick it?
Oh, like, you can use a skewer and put it on your lip, and if it gets too hot, but like, you know what, mate, just buy the $8 thermometer. Like, you don't have to buy the $200 thermometer.
Yeah.
But like, just, it cuts out a lot of drama, even on a barbecue.
I think you can get them in
like
like Woolworths and stuff, can't you?
Anyway.
Yeah.
Apparently. Right, so what we got in here now is the feta, the olive oil, the peas, no corn, Jodie Ann, fresh peas.
And no mint, because it keeps getting mixed up.
Because we forgot we need a whiskey for this one.
Colin.
See you later. Slane whiskey, good friend. Big shout out to Alex and Slane in Ireland. Cheers, you've helped me through this year. Okay, talk through the recipe now, Whitey.
Well, now up to we want to toss this gently. The last thing you want to do is break all the watermelon down too much.
Yeah,
So
but what you want to do is, see the way you've got a bit of watermelon here, is if you squeeze that watermelon, see that? It makes a dressing which mixes through the actual feta. So your dressing actually turns pink, sweet, and you mix it. I'm busy. So what you do is, see the way you're getting all the juice out of the watermelon? So you've got that beautiful salty feta, you've got the sweetness, you've got the olive oil. This is going to mix with the lemon juice and make a dressing. Go, Whitey. Under the camera is good.
And this would be amazing if Colin would have cut his fennel properly, but it's not too
Look, we can't. It's the end of the year. It's a first world problem. Just come out of a pandemic, Whitey. You know the.
Hold on, Whitey, go a bit more. Because obviously the claw, I didn't have the claw, but now I know for next year. That's in my new book, the claw. So just check the seasoning, Whitey. Obviously needs more salt.
Yeah, it needs a bit of something.
Pretty delicious, huh?
Salt, pepper. So it's got sweet, it's got a little bit of sour with the vinegar. Mix that again, Whitey.
And some fresh mint would make it amazing.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Keep saying that.
mix that with the claw there, Whitey. Give a bit of claw action. Do we need any sriracha in there? What do you call it? Sriracha. Okay. So that is our watermelon salad. So let's plate that up. Oh, check the ham. See, you're at the stage now where you got to keep firing now and keep checking everything. So our ham
This
glaze.
is the stage before Christmas lunch that Colin should not have had that last whiskey.
So see the way you're starting to get the glaze now? If you could actually grill it as well. The grill would do it beautiful. You're starting to get that glaze now. So your ham is looking beautiful.
Smells delicious.
Let's check the sauce. So see the way the sauce has got a lot thicker now? Just give it a stir. So make more than you need. That's the whole thing, people. Make more than you need. Back in the oven. Thermometer, I'll just check the pork. So we want it to 60 degrees in the middle. We're at nearly 50. So by the time we get there, we'll be ready to go. Okay, let's plate up the salad. What's the time?
7.
Okay, so we got our beautiful watermelon salad. In our Glen Tebble bowls, good RIP Glen, legend. Used to make all my bowls for 414 and 4 in hand. Sadly departed now. So that's your watermelon salad. So see all the juice that we made, so pour that in. There you go. And then what you do is, you stolen tea towel from, what are they called? Alsco. How are we going, Alsco? Supplied chef's houses for the last. And then you pick your fennel tops, fennel fronds. Oh, what's out now, like over the shooting range, there's wild fennel, like fennel pollen.
Yeah, right.
Like if you...
So could you use any other, like a honeydew or a rock melon, or could you,
You could
use
use, yes, you could use a rock melon and a honeydew, and you could even sneak in some ham. Hey?
Oh, it's a
Bit
bit
of Parma
much.
ham.
Bit of Parma ham,
Or
you
could
know?
you do, so if you've got your honey glazed ham, could you do this like Boxing Day with your leftover
With the
ham?
act, very good, Jane. That's
Thank
probably one of the most.
Very culinary.
You're a big chance of winning a knife tonight.
You could win. Oh, we haven't had any questions for the knives.
And
Let's
the
go.
other thing,
We have
the other
an
thing
eye
with
on
this, you can sub out the sheep feta with some gorgonzola, some delicious blue cheese in watermelon salad is an amazing flavour. It is.
Nah.
Get your own fucking show, mate. Like,
You can do that for your New Year's Day,
That's going
New
to be on
Year's
the
Eve barbecue.
page 27 of my next book.
off the. What
one
not to
beer's
eat
hitting
by
his head.
Whitey.
His one beer's going to his head.
Okay, so we got that. I'm going to give
Blue
it.
cheese and watermelon.
What?
Blue cheese and watermelon's classic.
What's your new book called? The Claw. Right, and then we're going to add some. There you go. Right, now we're going to glaze the ham. Back over here. I'm sweating in here tonight. Sweating. So we're going to I'm going to speed this up.
Jackie Dobson. Jackie Dobson says that she's with Colin the Irish make the best roasties, and she's from Liverpool.
Colin makes what?
She said she's with you and the Irish make the best roast potatoes, and she's from Liverpool.
So look at your ham. See the way it's getting nice and sticky now? Just keep glazing this now. So what we're going to do is sit down, Marty. You're on camera.
Sorry.
You're not off the clock yet.
The kids keep ringing. They want to know what's for dinner.
Right, so we put that there. So we're going to show our beautiful ham glaze. So as I said, you make more than you need. So we reduce down everything we put in there. So see the way it's changed? Do you know what they call that, Whitey? The viscosity.
Certainly do.
So see, as it cools down, it gets thicker. Smell that.
Amazingness.
Amazingness. That's not a real word.
Yeah, it is.
So what you do now is you keep this.
It's Christmas Day there.
Hold on, stay with me. See the way the ham is now, the glaze is getting really sticky now. Keep basting, don't forget about it. It's getting nice and shiny, nice and sticky. See the way it's staying on now? It's getting a nice coating. And what you're going to do is when you serve it, you're going to let it sit for half an hour. So it's going to stick to the meat. Look at this.
Natalie would like to know, is it true that you should only grind one way with your pepper grinder? Never heard that.
Well, I don't know. Look at this, right? So look at your glaze. No, Natalie, that's rubbish. Right. See the way the glaze now is just sitting on top of the ham?
Yeah.
Right. And now we're going to pop that back in the oven just to set. But you see the way it's not rolling off now?
That viscosity is amazing.
That's the viscosity, mate. And now that goes back in the oven to set. So look at that. See the way it's nice, shiny and thick? A little bit like Whitey's head. There we go, so that goes in there. Now the roast potatoes come out. Let's start giving them a bit of love. Roast potatoes. So now what you do is one side is starting to colour, you turn over the other side. Nice and gently. And I'm going to show you another little trick. So see the way you're getting that colour now? That's going to crisp up in the oven. So see that, because you flatten the potato, you're getting the crispness. So this is what's going to crisp up. All these little bits are going to crisp up. So you can give them a blast on top of the oven just to get it moving again. Yeah, just give it a little shake of the oil.
Suzanne would like to know, the ham hock that was cooked in glaze, can it be used again?
What do you mean?
Suzanne, does that mean can the glaze be used again if you've cooked the ham hock? Can you
Yeah,
use the
just bring it
glaze
to the boil, just to kill any bacteria, and then you can freeze it. Right, so see the way your potatoes, the oil's getting a lot faster, because what this means is the steam has left all the potatoes, so they're drying out now, so they fry a lot faster. So they start see this? See the way you're getting your golden brown potato? And what the dark bit is the starch that you dried, the sugar and the starch in the potato that you dried a couple of days before. And now they're going to fry really quick. Takes a while to get rid of all the liquid.
Question from Deb, how early can you glaze the ham if you're going to serve it cold?
You could do it the night before if you want, but just you'd leave it in the fridge, obviously. Just be careful of bacteria of that. But you could do it the night before and then take it out and it'll be beautiful and sticky. It'll actually be better cold and sticky.
There you go, night before, Deb.
Right, so that goes back in. We got a problem, Houston. There we go. So check your ham, right? So look at this. So this is the only stress you should have on Christmas Day. You got your porchetta in, you got your potatoes roasting you've already done, your ham you prepped the night before, and all you got to do is finish stuff. Like we've basically done Christmas dinner in an hour. So now you just glaze. See the way the glaze is stuck to the ham? It's not moving now. Just keep it on, so that's ready to go. So I'm going to let that sit.
How's the porchetta temp, Chef?
One moment, please, buddy. I'm under pressure here. So look at that. So that just sits there thick. Your ham is glazed. Beautiful. And as that cools down now, it's going to get stickier. We're going to check the porchetta. We'll check near the end because we're going to have a little carve. That's my kids fighting downstairs. We're up to 50 degrees. If you check near the end, it's obviously going to be a lot hotter. The end is 60 degrees, so obviously you can carve from the end first. There, the end is cooked, so it's cooked to here, a little bit under in here. So that's what I'm saying. Buy your cheap thermometer. It goes to 50 degrees. We're nearly there. All right, final recipe before we play it up.
Oh, another one.
Yeah, we're just non-stop recipes here tonight. go to the rosemary potatoes. So this will get thicker as the day goes on, and just freeze it. And this sauce is like, this is going to be my Christmas dinner. All right, Whitey, on here. Call out the recipe. I need to get some rosemary.
The recipe, this is what we ran through before, the Desiree potatoes, salt, pepper, vegetable or olive oil.
No, the vinegar.
The vinegar, the rosemary vinegar he's talking about.
Oh, the vinegar. So for the vinegar we need 300 millilitres of white wine vinegar, a bunch of rosemary,
Yeah.
and a tablespoon of caster sugar.
Yeah.
All right.
Which we
Freshly picked rosemary, right? Here we go. Freshly picked sugar. So what you got now is in your blender, so for your roast potatoes, put the sticks in and everything. Just break them up a bit. Do you know what you do? You get your Wusthof knife and you just give it a little tap, like that, Whitey.
big stalks and all, eh?
Oh, everything.
Maxine would like to know, does the fat under the glaze and the ham cook down?
No, it will not cook down. So if you don't like the fat, you can take that off when you take the skin off. But you're basically just reheating the ham. You're not rendering it down. So the fat will still be there. So if you don't like the fat, cut it off at the start. Right, so we got our rosemary. This is to go with the roast potatoes.
300 ml white wine vinegar,
Vinegar,
tablespoon of
Apple
sugar.
cider.
apple cider vinegar. There you go. And a tablespoon of sugar. So watch what happens to this vinegar. It's going to go green. Where's the sugar? Got it over here. You relax a second.
You didn't tell me you were doing this.
I didn't know, it's on the fly. Then you got your sugar, just a tablespoon. So what the sugar does, it just sort of mellows out the vinegar. So what we're going to do is we're going to blend the rosemary with the vinegar and the sugar. You could put thyme and sage in here if you want. And that will, it's like when you go to a fish and chip shop in Ireland, you got potato, like chips and vinegar.
Lid is in the wash sink.
The lid is here. What's the time?
12 minutes past.
Thanks
so you
for
got
the
about
update.
15 minutes.
Okay, so then we're going to blend. Stay there, Whitey.
Big shout out to the sound guys for trying to work through that.
One job. Just keep you on your toes. One job. So see the way the vinegar has changed colour. Have a taste of that, Whitey. Don't lie, just taste it. Don't be an idiot. Just
Yeah, the sugar cuts through. It's very well balanced now. Ready to go.
you could look a bit more excited.
And even the big stalky bits of the rosemary aren't too bad.
Well, what you do now is you keep that in the fridge. You don't strain it. So the stalk and the rosemary infuses the actual vinegar. And if it's too vinegary for you, you add a splash of water. So what you do then is you put that in the bottom of the bowl. Your roast potatoes you put on top. So the bottom of the potatoes soak the vinegar. And then when you eat it, it adds another, that's my kids slamming doors. And then you add another level to the potatoes.
What did you put on the list to Sana?
Me,
Yep.
Pamela Anderson.
You can probably get it.
Wow,
About
yeah.
60.
Sure she's on that, what do you call it?
Yeah, but she's a
Only
vegan.
fan.
She's a vegan. She's a vegan. No vegans allowed in here. Oh no, we do like vegans. In saying that, there is vegan recipes in the book. Don't.
Is it?
No, Pamela. Yeah. Right. Glaze. Have a look at this, Whitey.
Yeah.
So this is your ham. So what's happened is your sauce is reduced, and obviously we spread it up in the actual
Good idea.
in the pan. So your ham. So all right. So ready. We've got our salad. That's going to go with our porchetta. We've got our glazed ham with this.
Slicing that?
Yeah, it's got the sriracha. Sriracha.
It's got kick in it.
It's got a lot of sriracha.
An onion powder.
Right. It's got. Wait, hold on. Where's the Wusthof fork?
How long would that last in the fridge?
In our house,
Oh,
about
the
2.
vinegar. The vinegar. How long will the vinegar
Oh,
last?
the vinegar lasts forever. It's vinegar. It's not going to go off. It's an acid. So with my beautiful Wusthof fork, look at that.
Oh, look at that.
And then what you do is,
Too much onion powder.
be quiet, Jen. Oh yeah, it's good on, eh? So this with barbecue ribs, even with a brisket, amazing, amazing. The viscosity in the sauce.
Oh my god.
Look at that.
Do you
Right.
get $1 or something for every time you say that?
Well, if there's a company called Viscosity, I will. All right. So then what you do is, like you want to serve it warm. You don't want to serve it hot. So because your sauce is now just sticking to the meat, I give it a little wrap of the olive oil. Very chefy, eh? Peter Gilmore's rolling in his grave there.
He's not in the grave. He's not rolling.
Bit of lemon juice at the end. Lemon juice over everything just lifts everything. Like, look at that, Whitey. We'll carve it in a minute. So that's our ham, which you can get ready the night before. The salad's really the only thing you're gonna, you've got to worry about. Now,
Natalie would like to know how important is the onion powder? From the amount that he added, you'd think it was the main dish. It's not.
Natalie, I'm quite busy at the moment. I'll text you later, yeah? Because
Just adds a little bit of complexity to it. That's
oh,
all,
if
Natalie.
you run out of onion powder, that's my children falling off the bin. If you run out of onion powder, it's fine. It's not a deal breaker because you've got more to why do you say
Sriracha.
Sriracha. You got the sriracha and sort of the sort of tomato. If you don't want to use the jar of passata, you can use fresh tomatoes, chilies, and you know what I mean. You can make
Is
it
the
fresh.
chef allowed to lick his fingers while cooking?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm good at. Okay, let's check the potatoes. So now what we're going to do is you're going to add, see the way they're crisping up now, beautiful. We're going to add a knob of butter. Where's the butter, Jen?
There's butter on the
Grab the butter, grab the butter. Some garlic.
Just a little bit of Pepe Saya butter in the fridge door there.
Yeah.
Pepe's been here. Got to add a little.
Time on Channel 9 ads and everything, yeah.
We don't do Channel 9 in this house. Not yet, unless we got a contract. Okay. We're going to add a knob of butter. It's Christmas. My cholesterol's quite high, but you know what I mean? We're going to add a knob. So what this
knob.
does...
Fair knob.
Huh? It's like...
Not language.
So you're going to add your little whitey of butter.
Natalie, not a pest at all.
About what?
Natalie said, oh my God, she's a pest. I'm like, nope, not at all.
Yes, you are, Natalie. Okay.
Don't listen to him.
So what you want to do now is... So you've got your butter in there. Why is the gas running out? Jim, you haven't paid the bill.
No.
You've got your garlic, right? Don't peel the garlic. Smash 2-3 cloves. Okay? Stay with me. And then what you're going to do is... Can you see over here yet? What you're going to do is you're going to smash the garlic in the skin
Oh, what's the... Okay.
and put it into the butter.
So back on the onion powder again, what she meant was, what is its function?
It tastes like onion and it's a powder. And you don't have to
Just
chop
adds a
onions.
bit of complexity to it.
So you could add fresh onion.
Oh, not really. Oh, you
Okay.
could, but it's sort of... It's...
You'd want to go through the process of cooking the onion.
Right, so what you got, your roast potatoes now have got the
Just
butter,
add a
which is
pinch, Natalie.
caramelising. You've got the garlic in there, which has flavoured the butter. So you can smell garlic now all around the house. If we had some, we've got some salt here, which has got some sage and rosemary in there. So get that in. Oh yeah, smells the Christmas now. So see the way you've got your roast potato? See this? Have a look. See the way it's gone all crispy? So as your butter melts, it turns into a brown butter, like a burnt noisette. Look at this. See all this? This is the best roast potatoes. The skin actually gets really crispy, caramelized. So just keep an eye on it now because it moves quite fast now once the butter's in. Look at this. Crispy, hard. Right, so look at that. You've got a hard little skin on all your potatoes now. So that's the starch that's gone hard. So I'll give you a little look at that. You've got the butter that smells of garlic.
Twenty past.
So I'm going to put, right, we got 10 minutes. I'm going to pop these back in the oven. Check the porchetta. Yeah, beautiful. I carved the end. Probably needs another.
So on Christmas Day, you take that out when it reaches 60.
Oh,
and leave
Christmas
to
Day, you put it in
rest.
10 in the morning.
Yeah, but you
Leave it out for a few hours. Look at that. Sweet baby Jesus, look at that.
if you were to serve Manu, exactly how much sauce would you be adding?
Oh, Manu, mate. I've cooked for that guy over here for so many Christmases. Right, what am I looking for?
Dunno.
Sweating here, sweating. Where's my carving knife? Whitey, talk something useful.
Well, it smells delicious. I'm going to have a little bit of a taste, actually.
He's got enough carving knives there. I don't know why he needs more.
So normally we let that rest, but we're running out of time.
David would
Listen
like
to
to know, is
that.
it bad to wash the knives in a dishwasher?
No, but what you want to do is, as we said, Dave, is buy a steel, and when they come out of the dishwasher, give them a good run over the steel. So normally let this rest.
So how long would you leave it to rest normally?
Oh, I'd leave that 40 minutes at least. But it's like in this house, no one gets any rest. Did you get that, Woody? Yeah.
Comedy gold.
Boo-hoo, no problem.
So just say we carve it, right, and it's a little bit pink. What you can do is slice it, put it back in the tray, give it a quick flash in the oven, and, you know, it's not a drama. But let's have a look. So we'll cut off the end. We'll go quite close to the end. Please be cooked. Oh, sweet baby Jesus, sweet baby Jesus, the baby in the crib, mate. He's
Is
just
there different qualities in steels?
yeah. It's like knives. Hold on, stop talking for a minute. I'm on fire here
Hold
at
on,
the minute.
Suzanne, we'll come back to that.
Like, Whitey, please
I'm
talk,
excited,
talk to me, Whitey. Talk
Look
to
at
me.
I can't. I'm speechless.
So as you can see, right, just pull the string out.
Carrots.
Yeah.
Look at this, right? Can we see this? See the way, that's where we cut the belly, and you want a little bit pink. You don't want it overcooked. So 60 degrees, that's what we're talking about. So that was your loin. That's where we cut it, and then that's the pinwheel of the green, and then you've got your stuffing. But that is, look how moist that is, Whitey. Look at that.
Oh,
You
that is
are-
super moist.
You haven't seen something that moist in a long time. Right. I'm going to give it a little drizzle of olive oil.
Sorry, Mum.
Sorry, Mum.
Can you please answer Suzanne's question? Is there different qualities
Yes,
in
there's
the
different.
steels?
I'll give you right. So the beautiful Wusthof steel at the moment, it's great. And then I've got a steel that I actually stole from Raymond Blanc in 1994. So, hey Ray, borrowed. So like, do you know what I mean? This is like, I don't know. You can't replace this.
It's like a lump. I mean, you get what you pay for.
Yeah, you just like you buy a good
No
Wusthof
drums.
knife, you buy a good chopper knife, a good paring knife, and a good steel, and start with that, and then later on build up what you need. Don't buy a cheap knife set that has 15 knives that you see on the TV, and they're no good to anyone after a few months. But look at this, Whitey. Right?
Can you oversalt the pork skin, or is that impossible?
Yeah, you can, but it only needs a little bit of salt. Like, too much salt's not really going to do anything. But look at that, mate. That is...
It's all the colours of the rainbow and everything. It's just
It's like the
amazing.
Irish flag in a pig. And now we're going to slice some ham, so stay with me, stay
Yeah,
with me.
I'm here for this. So we've got 6 minutes left. Suzanne, I'm going to make an executive decision, and I think you should get the knife for the best question of the night.
What was that?
What is there different qualities in the steels?
Oh yeah, well done, Suzanne.
So you get the knife.
Look at that. So you got a bit of that.
Email, get in contact after us at By Fassnidge, and we'll organise delivery.
Clayton will sort that out. Look at that. So that's your ham with your glaze. And then what you can do is, you got a bit of glaze.
So that's got a bit of kick in it. If you didn't want something as spicy, you just add out the sriracha.
You wouldn't add the sriracha.
Sriracha.
The sriracha. You can keep a bit of the sauce on the side as a dressing. So that's, and obviously you can keep this for beef brisket, for ribs. So look at that. So that's your sauce. That's your ham. That's your porchetta, which you'll slice. And if you rest it for a lot longer, slice is better. What do we need next, Whitey? Move that out of the way. We need the roast potatoes.
Potatoes, chef.
Right, yeah, you're riveting there.
Sorry.
Just
There you go. You all right?
stay over there.
You stay there. Get up, sit down, stand up. Help, don't help.
Tea towel, tea towel.
How do you do this on a daily basis?
Mate, there's a
Because she
reason I
gets
don't
fed.
do it.
Move, Whitey, move. Right, so look at these roast potatoes.
Oh, wow.
Look at them, mate. Talk me through them.
You can the garlic butter is just, it's amazing. Every single surface is crunchy.
So what we did was, the vinegar with the rosemary goes in the bottom. Look at that, right? Twig. Splash of olive oil. Then what we do is the hot potatoes, so they've got to be hot, go straight into the vinegar
Why do they have to be hot?
because it sort of soaks up, the heat soaks up the vinegar straight away.
Oh, there you
It's
go.
very technical and scientific. I reckon Heston said it once, I don't know. Right, so you get your, so not all the potatoes go in the vinegar, but the bottom ones start to soak it up really a lot. Look at that, Whitey. Don't blow, mate. Don't look at that. This is big class tonight. So then to that, you add your beautiful salt, maybe some fresh rosemary. I would add a little zest of lemon there onto that, a little bit of lemon onto that.
That's Suzanne's knife. It's the Wusthof Classic.
Right, Suzanne, you've won the knife tonight. For a lot of good questions for someone who wants the Common Sense Cookbook.
Yeah. Colin will sign the box for you and everything.
Yeah, to Suzanne.
To Suzanne.
How do you spell Suzanne?
Suzanne.
Any last questions for the for the book? Oof, so tonight we did the porchetta. You can do days before, get it ready, roast it on the day. You did the ham, we showed you what to do with the ham, break it down, take it off, keep the bone, make some soup. You can make the sauce weeks in advance. You can freeze it in containers, use when you need it. The roast potatoes, you cook days before, you cool them down and you roast them on the day in the oil. The salad, I'm running out, we're to the wire, mate, to the wire. And then the salads, you got basically, that's all you got to do on the day, an hour before, is the salad.
Beautiful.
And that is the Common Sense Cook Christmas class. Big ups to all the team in the background here.
Thank you.
Say hello, because without
Thank
them,
you.
we wouldn't get all this beautiful vision. They got one job and they do it very well. And Clayton for the badly spelt recipe cards and for the help all year. To Jane, who keeps me in line. To me, apparently I'm in the jungle now if you read the Daily Mail, but we're here
You
now.
have lost a little bit of weight. I was going to ask about that.
You haven't been well,
That's a
mate.
healthy diet.
You've lost a bit of hair. And big ups to everybody. And it's been a very tough year. What makes the year better is you can get the Common Sense Cook under the tree. We've still got a week left. Dimmocks have got 200 copies. To everyone
Banksia has them.
Banksia's got them. To everyone overseas, you can order at By Fassnidge and go to the YouTube, what's it called, Clayton? Channel?
By Fassnidge.
By Fassnidge, great name. And that's it. So any last questions, hit me up.
Christmas.
Happy Christmas to everyone. Been a hard year.
Cheers.
Hopefully it gets better. Has to get better. Can't get any worse, can it?
Can do. Mop
Cheers.
your brow. Mop your brow. Well done.
Cheers. Thank
Cheers.
you.
Cheers.
Happy
Cheers.
Christmas
Happy Christmas.
to the team, to
Cheers.
everybody. Thank you. Good night.